This is a 2026 Ford F450 King Ranch. And I was hoping to see a specific change for this model year, which we'll discuss in a second. I borrowed this truck from Larry H. Miller, Super Ford here in Salt Lake City. Tim Powell said this truck might become available, so if you would like to purchase it, be sure to get on that waiting list. Let's go and check out the window sticker so you guys can see options and features on this build. At the very top is the description. And then this is a short listing of the standard features. And then down below are all the options. So high output power stroke is $3,500. Gooseneck dual hitch kit, $525. All weather floor mats. Chrome package was $1,240. FX4 package. And then a few other things down below. Be sure to pause. One thing I want to point out is the max recline seats too. We'll go over that in this video. Now, base price for this year is $93,890. Destination is $2195 with a total price of $107,280. For 2026, the King Ranch did go up $1,300 in price, excluding destination charges, which went up too. However, there's not a lot of changes on this truck. I will point out some that I see that are slightly different. Now let's discuss one of the changes I was hoping Ford would have made for this year. You guys can see here on the headlights, this has the reflective style LED, okay? Out back, these taillights have a mixture of incandescent bulbs and LED, including your incandescent license plate lights, which not many people care about that, but just worth pointing out. If you were to get a platinum trim, you would get a different headlight and taillight design. I was hoping Ford would have added the King Ranch onto the platinum trim as a package like they did the Platinum Plus. That way you can get some of those nice features that that package gets. And I don't know, I feel as though for the price point of these trucks, especially for the King Ranch, that should be 100% a part of this build. And I'm not sure why, especially for the headlights, because the projector style headlights are adaptive. So if you are towing a trailer, they will auto level for you. And they will not do that on this truck. So that's kind of why I would always jump up to a platinum at the very least. But I do like the King Ranch interior. Now with this King Ranch, you do get the satin finish that pretty much runs side to side on the front end, through the grille, through the headlights. And you still have premium lighting, so LED everything, including the fog lights. Front parking sensors come standard. The chrome packages give you the chrome on the front bumper, rear bumper, and on the mirror caps. You also have a front camera right here. And whenever you get a dually, you do have a slightly different grille design compared to the single rear wheel trucks. And here's a quick peek at this wide front track. About 6 inches wider with the 450 compared to the F350 dually. And this is going to give you a better turning radius, which is great for maneuvering such a wide truck. And obviously if you're towing a trailer, it makes that even better too. You guys see the tires? These are the traction tires which you get with the FX4 package. 225/70, 19.5. G-rated tire, 3-peak. And it's going to have 3,950 pounds of capacity. You guys see right there, 3,750 pounds of capacity for dual at 110 PSI. And in case you care to know, these tires are 31.9 inches tall, 8.9 inches wide, 10 lug. And then check it out. A lot of people always ask, is this one of my favorite trucks? It's one of my favorite trucks to film because it's one of the best dualies. Like, this is the only truck that GM and Ram cannot compete with, simply because of this aluminum body. And you guys will see the Payload here in a second. I did turn on this light here. You guys see the turn signal right there. Blind spot alert. More cameras. Yeah, your door handles, I believe these are chrome with that package too. Smart key system, and look what they brought back. See, when people complain, they say social media doesn't work. A lot of people complain about them removing this. And they brought back this tacky little dial, which I thought was terrible. So much better. Power deployable running boards. You guys see those mud flaps up front right there. And this is why I like the F450. I like their dual leaf side bed. One thing is you can repair this, like replace this part without having to replace the entire bed. 48 gallon fuel tank, 7.4 gallon DEF. You guys see the steps here. And when you get the FX4 package, they give you a large skid plate for that fuel tank, which is not used for just off-road, right? If you run over something on the road and it could potentially damage that tank, hopefully you guys see that. That will pretty much help protect it for you guys. There's also a skid plate for the transfer case right there. And this leaf pack is pretty similar to what you see on the single rear wheel trucks. I'm pretty sure the spring rate might be a little different though. And then out back, you guys saw the applique earlier, but 3-inch receiver hitch. And I believe that gets upgraded with the high output power stroke. You guys know the standard output does come on this. And then there's that upgraded rear diff cover, 430 rear, limited slip, and then there's your spare. You guys know that the inner wheel too is going to be a steely, it's not going to be aluminum. And then here's some of your lights, cameras, action for the tailgate. This does turn into a step, and it does give you this handle too. Let's go ahead and step in here. On this side, you have the 2 kilowatts of power, which converts to 2,000 watts. I got to put my plug in for Juggernaut. If you would like to get upgraded tie downs for the bed, this is a very close OEM part that I would 100% get. It goes in place of your tie downs on the side of the bed. I think it's a great option, and it just gives you more like security for strapping things down in the bed. Great quality part. It looks like it came from the factory. Now right over here, you have your 7-pin and 12-way plug for video. You can turn off the bed lights. Here's your 5th wheel prep package. And camera with your lights. I have those on as well. Power sliding glass with defrost. At the very least, they do give that to you for the King Ranch. If you do get the F450, the standard output power stroke does come with this truck. You cannot get a gas engine. So if that's what you're looking for, you have to go to an F350 dually. Now this 6.7 V8 is one of the best ever, simply because of the power. As far as reliability goes, I don't hear a lot of people complaining about that on these trucks for 23 plus. And really from 2019 on, I would say that the power stroke has been pretty reliable. So 500 horsepower, 1,200 pound-feet of torque, all that power goes to a 10-speed transmission. It was a 10R140. Also, they are still using a CP4, but again, I haven't heard many complaints about that either. Now, Ford did come out with like a recall, or they had a thought of why the CP4s were failing. They were saying because of, I guess, diesel getting old and sitting. I can't remember exactly, but I thought it was a kind of a silly synopsis of all that. But regardless of it, the diesel standards in America are not as good as they are in Europe. So we don't have as much sulfur. I think it's like down to what, 10 parts per million of sulfur in our diesel, which I think it was like 525, 30 years ago. So yeah, that sulfur does help lubricate the fuel system, and that's why the CP4s, which is made by Bosch, did not do well in the States. So the CP3, and they do have a conversion kit. Now obviously, if you are looking to buy this truck and keep it long term, your MAP sensors, so your manifold absolute pressure sensors, you can get a relocate kit from Banks, I believe, at the Ford. I'll put it here in the video, that way you know what I'm talking about. But I strongly recommend that, because I actually had my manifold out of my truck, the intake manifold, and I was shocked at how dirty those sensors were, and that will affect fuel economy and overall performance with your truck. So get that relocate kit if it's available. I'll put it here for you. And yeah, just one little extra way to bulletproof your truck, I would say, for the future. So this is why you get a King Ranch. You get this cowboy interior, and the fit and finish is almost perfect. Real wood, and you can feel the texture of the wood. You have the 3 seat memories here. All these controls obviously are going to be there, so power folding, auto up and down for just the front windows. We got to hold it for the rear. Here's that kick plate. Also power steering column. You get the brown steering wheel. Liner on the roof is also brown. Hopefully you can see it. Sorry for that darkness. There it is. A and B pillars, I believe the C pillars too, have the brown. And then check out these contouring seats. So you do get that standard with King Ranch as well. And the lumbar does go up and down too. Now with this, you do have a shoulder support too. This is also your pillow for the max recline. So let's go ahead and check that out real quick. I haven't shown it in a while. So all you have to do is put this seat up, drop down this storage, and then let's go ahead and see how far down the seat goes. So if you're someone that works on the road, or maybe your kids are at a soccer game and you was up all night because you couldn't fall asleep, this kind of turns into like a little mattress for you. You see that bottom cushion coming up too, to align with the seat. So this pretty much lays flat for you. And now you could take a nap in your truck, and then, like I said, this acts pretty much as your pillow here. So yeah, that's a nice feature to have. No other truck on the market has that. And I would say that if I were to buy a Super Duty, I would want this just in case, because sometimes I like to go on cross-country trips in my truck and I tow my trailer. So yeah, this is nice to have. Let's go and check out the passenger side. Seat massagers and max recline. And we step in. You guys see you have a real wood trim piece right there. Sorry for that glare there, or blur. Storage. And I always point this out, the sticker's not in here, but there is a camper package available. So if you would like to, I would say, increase the value of your truck, that camper package is $160, and it gives you certification for you to haul a bed camper. So in other words, if you are buying this to haul a bed camper, this truck is not necessarily set up for that, because it does give you some upgrades, and it lets you know how much you can carry in the bed in regards to your camper. Okay? Now this is your hitch kit as you saw on the window sticker. I'll show you really quickly. This basically gives you a 2 5/16 ball and a 3-inch ball, and also the black rails there go in the puck system too, so you can put your chains on that if you like. 60/40 bench out back. You also have the outboarded heated seats with 2 Type-C USBs, 120-volt power plug, and look at the design of this trim piece here. Chrome. And yeah, let's go ahead and jump back over to the driver's seat. More wood trimming right there. Heads-up display. And when you put it in reverse, bed view. And as I point out to you guys sometimes with the 12-way plug, that's what this is here basically. Here's all your controls down below. Wireless charger, 2 Type-C USBs. Actually, I'm sorry, 2 USBs, 1 Type-A, 1 Type-C. But this was updated for 2020 2026. So you used to have a soft close like this, it would just slide, but now you have to push it open like always, and then you have to pull it close again. So that was updated. They saved probably 20 cents there on that little piece that gave you that soft close function. And you still have this. This might go away in 2027, just saying. Just saying. Also, you guys see right there? And you do have a lockbox option. 2 Type-Cs are in here. That's what I meant to say earlier. And let's go through this screen. So they did add something in here. I have to show it to you guys. I don't know where it's at though. Let me see if I can find it. There it is. You now have tire pressure gauges for these trucks. And most of you guys know you have these gauges here. General measurements, diesel measurements, and then these auxiliary gauges here. You can change the gauges up top. You can put some numbers in there for like the transmission and oil pressure. Coolant's all the way to the left. On this side, you can set up your running boards. Pro powers right here. Most people don't know this, but you can turn off the power plug. So if you turn this on, this turns on the power plugs inside the truck. Now if you want the ones inside the bed on, this is your generator mode. So that gives you that 2000 watts, and then you can just turn off everything like so. Go back to settings here, you scroll over, you have your seats. I'm going to hit the button on the side of the seats, that way you guys can see this. So if you want to get there quicker, it will take you to this menu as well. You have 3 levels of intensity, and I will say, man, they have the best massage function on their seats. But yeah, apart from that, I mean, this is a really nice truck. I think that most people will admit that Ram nor GM can compete with this truck. This is the one truck I will tell you that is hard for those two to compete with, simply because of the aluminum construction. Now let's go ahead and check out the Payload on this truck, and then that will pretty much end this video. Here is the front gross axle weight rating at 6,000 pounds. The rear is 9,900 pounds. Gross vehicle rating is 14,000. And you guys see the wheels? They're 19.5 by 6 wide. And that axle code's a 4L. All in payload is 4,748 pounds. 90 PSI for the front tires, 80 in the rear. Hope you guys liked the video. I think that the F450 is worth the money, simply because this is one of the few trucks you can buy and actually drive it for a year and probably get what you paid for it if you're patient. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, make sure bell notification on. I'll see you guys in the next one.